forgot to remove the delay, so we're actually just gonna redo this. My apologies, but this is the very first episode of PPP When, where I will be interviewing the captains after they finish their series for the night. So, yep, here we go. This is it. Joining me first is my very own team, since I can't very well interview myself. So, I got Coop, I got Darba, and I got Watts joining me here. How are you guys doing?
Good, Mikhail. Going 2-0 always feels good.
Yeah, it feels great.
Yeah,
Pretty
so
much same.
yeah, so as you can see on the stream, we did 2-0 Redondo here. And we do have the first game on Dota Buff up here on the stream. So why don't we talk a bit about the draft here first?
Yeah, I doubted Darba on the Slark pick, but it turned out to be a really good pick.
I think the least impactful hero by a mile was a Ember Spirit. Like, he just kind of kill stole.
It's true.
I don't know. He also had, a lot of assists. There's one below the top assists on the team here.
I don't know. I feel like that hero could have played anything, but it was still nice. I mean, I think it had a really good mix of damage. Like, Slark was kind of in and out. We could really move around well in fights, but yeah, it was nice.
That team has a hard time with Redondo's pool because we're kind of like, okay, what's he gonna play?
But this is one of his best heroes, I believe, in the Mirana, and he played that. He did fairly well mid lane. He drew versus me. I felt like we got similar amounts of CS. He slightly out-denied me, though. But I felt like they really didn't have any answer for my hero, and I could just go completely ham. Especially when I had the Lincolns. There's no insta-pop for me or anything. They couldn't even go with the Sanking Stun.
They kind of like outthought themselves because, as we saw in game 2, they're overvaluing the Jakiro because they wanted to deny that from Coop because they think Coop is a one-hero player, but Coop is a legend.
Yeah,
Actually, I'm an Archon 4 or Archon 5 now.
Oh, sorry.
I'm very proud
Used
of
to be
your
a
rank.
legend. But look at that Jakiro. He's got 2,000 net worth. That's brutal.
Yeah,
I
so
did some feeding as Lark too. Died on the SK into CK stun. Pretty much the only way I
we
died.
saw that happen a couple of times. So yeah, let's go take a look at game number 2. And this is very interesting because we changed things up quite a bit with our roles here.
I feel like we decided we needed to make the game much harder, and just had to work way harder to make a win happen.
I never felt that we were like losing the game. I think it was all the time in the back. Just having the Wisp Luna. Don't know how they deal with it.
It was stressful a little bit, I think, in the mid game. Like, we absolutely dominated bottom lane. Redondo had a really hard time as a jug in the safe lane. But then, because we didn't practice IO that much, it became a lot harder of a game.
We just needed to be way more active, get some deep wards, find big outs, force them to react to Luna, IO split pushing.
Yeah, but we did end up winning this game despite the struggles. What do you think is what is the reason? Why did we win this game?
I was told by my captain that I needed to go in and eat all the spells, so I did that. I think that's the reason.
I think it was also just like getting more comfortable on heroes. Like, I admit I hadn't played SD in a while. I love the hero, but I just hadn't played in a while. And like, Habits hadn't played with an IO, so just like figuring out how that stuff went was really helpful.
Like, we have a lineup where you basically, if you lose a team fight, you don't have enough buybacks, we just take the whole base, which is what we did, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same for their lineup though. They also kill the base extremely quickly.
We gave one lane of Rexes to them, which was like, they had Aegis, didn't really want to defend, no one didn't find jump on them, so...
Okay, do you guys have any closing thoughts on this series? Any call-outs or any shout-outs you want to make?
Shout out to Coop. Coop's a boss.
I was just gonna say, as much as I talk shit, I think that Ember Spirit was a matchable performance.
Also, I want to say that I said we should pick the Ember Spirit. That's all I have to say.
That is
I don't
true.
remember that at all.
I remember that.
think-
Okay. Darba?
I think Slark voice lines are perfect.
Alright, well, thank you guys very much for joining me. And yeah, GG's tonight. It was a lot of fun to play with you guys. And yeah, we'll go at it next week again.
Good luck.
Yep, good luck. Later, boys.
Good luck.
Alright, guys.
Hello.
I am now joined by Killer, Karate, and Nulagon. How are you guys doing?
Okay.
Let's see if I can find your team names. I need to bring up the Dota box.
Polygon and the Affinity Pebbles is mine.
And ours is like 30 verbs, 30 nouns.
I'm looking for it. Bear
Pretty
with
creative
me.
name, honestly. Probably the most creative name in
There
the
we go.
division so far.
Alright, I
Except it
have...
isn't changing.
Alright, I have game 1 up here on the stream, so... how do you both feel about... How did the draft go for you guys?
I'll let
Uh,
Noglon open.
Okay. So for us, it was going really well to the last pick because we have a stronger off lane. Our safe lane isn't stronger, but strictly speaking, it's a Naga lane and she will get Radiance at a decent time, which I did. I got it at 19, which is like airing on bad times. But mid, we picked Death Prophet. And that really didn't work because they countered it with Sniper. And that Sniper pick was the end of us. Like, we did well on top and bot, mid went horribly. We fought in mid game and they won those fights mainly because of Sniper. And we couldn't get map control to fucking starve them out with Naga. So, yeah.
So,
That's it from my perspective.
Harry Naga hasn't been done for a while. Also picked into a Shadow Demon, which is generally considered a hero that's pretty good versus the Radiance Naga. So what was
You
the
do
thought
not give a
process?
shit about Shadow Demon, for one, because you don't do a lot of right-click damage on Naga early on and late game. It's okay, but you do way more damage and you're way too tanky to care about it.
No, my point is more, he gets the free Radiance for the fights, you know, he can push out lanes as well, if you're going for it.
But the thing is with Shadow Demon, he's good against most carries in the pool. He's good against those ones like Lifestealer and Jug because, well,
Yeah, but that's the
doesn't
ulti.
matter.
That's the ulti being good against
yeah,
him.
yeah,
I'm
that's the
feeling
only part of him.
Disruption
It's good
is
against a lot of the strength heroes are good because they can be kited by him. A lot of the agi heroes are good because they can make good illusions. It's like even Troll is okay because you kite him. Gyro is okay, you kite him. Like it's just there's very few heroes that aren't hard countered by Shadow Demon in some way, so I didn't care that much anyway.
Okay, and so what went wrong in the game here, Nalagon?
In the game, I believe
Despite the
we were
lanes,
doing-
which you covered.
Yeah. We were doing okay, and we kind of just outstayed our welcome against Sniper. Like, he got too much poke damage, we couldn't jump into him because we had shit on cooldown. And it was just one lost fight, and then they just barreled down mid with creep wave the moment they could. Like, outside of all these fights, though, we were having maximum map control, but they just barreled down creep wave and kept them alive as long as they could and pushed high ground through that.
So how did you feel about the game, Killer Karate?
I think mostly went pretty well for us. I got Clockwork, and it wasn't the best game of mine on Clockwork, but shout out to supports, because I think what eventually ended up happening bottom lane is Lilgon still got a 19-minute radiance, which is good, but he got a little bit of a slower start because Naga into Cogs is pretty annoying, and I did my best trying to just keep his mana at 0 so they weren't able to go on us early on, even though I probably still died like 4 times in that lane, but that's just my play style.
It was back and
So,
forth. Killed the chain
yeah.
a few times as well.
Yeah, that's just my play style though, so
Yeah.
it doesn't count as his kills, obviously. But we played pretty well, just getting Naga and getting kills on her before the ult went off. And then the other thing, I think they didn't really have an answer to Sniper, as Nulagon already said. I think Beastmaster really needed to get a Blink instead of Shadowblade to deal with the Sniper, but that's just my opinion.
Interjection here, by the way. I did say that. Scrub God, who is ranked 300 on leaderboard, said no. So,
You mean
Continue.
Scrub Sphere? Okay.
Okay,
All right.
so let's take a look at game number 2. So, they were quite different drafts, I'd say.
Do you want to open again, Noah?
I mean, I have
You
from last
swapped
time.
roles as well, which is interesting. Killer Karate?
We did actually. That was just a decision we made in the draft. I kind of went in knowing what we wanted to do with first pick. Devilisk had been spamming Wind Ranger, so I just kind of said, "Screw it, let's pick Wind Ranger for him." And we ended up taking first pick that game too. So that's what we went with. Went with the Shadow Demon again because it worked well for us. We've been practicing it quite a bit too. I think Master has played it mid a couple of times even. I think the role swaps maybe ended up not in our favor. Like we probably should have kept I Love Life support. Not saying anything against Islena, but I think Master has a little bit more practice on it, and we have played Master on that mid Lena a little bit. And then playing Magnus into Spectre is kind of annoying, especially after the Radiance, but I also kind of fucked up a lot in this game. So that's just my opinion on that. I think we lost because we just didn't play aggro enough, and we did pretty bad in our lanes before that. So.
Okay, so Nalagan, what were your thoughts on the game?
So basically, it's pretty much exactly the same as last game, except this time mid went well. And that meant we basically controlled the entire map for the entire game for the most part.
Yeah, I'd like to ask you
my
about...
Radiance was actually 23 minutes because I died 3
Oh.
times in lane.
yeah.
But
I would like to ask you about this mid pick. This is not common. It's a Weaver in the mid lane.
so yeah, well, I mean, we did it last game too with Kari Naga. Like, we have actually a lot of heroes that we just like. Weaver's one of them. Weaver is a nice one though because I play it, Sil plays it, and CC plays it. So yeah, it's kind of just a good pick. In terms of mid, it's kind of like if it does bad, it's not good, which is why we last picked it. Well, we didn't last pick it, we were second last picked it, but we were banned. All the counters were banned at that point anyway, so I don't know.
Yeah,
It's a good Weaver game. It's a good Weaver game.
Yeah, I mean, it could work mid against Lina, especially, I think, because
Well, it did.
Weaver's issue with the laning side is he has a horrible attack animation, right? But so does Lina. So he'll have a good time getting those last hits, and Lina can't really pressure him. She can't really stun him at all in the lane, and he can go really ham.
I can't speak personally for mid because CC normally plays that, but like you can still use Sakuchi the last hit. Like if it's contested, like you just Sakuchi get last hit.
Yeah.
Very quick.
Yeah. Do you guys have any closing thoughts, any callouts, any shoutouts you want to make?
At the end, well, I didn't really finish the model going into this game, but it's like same as usual, push high ground, all that stuff. But at the end of the game, we had Aegis and Cheese. I had Cheese on Spectre. And we're just sitting outside their fountain, and they're being assholes poking us and stuff. And I just like, fuck yeah. I ran into the fountain, 1k HP out of 4k total on Spectre of the Heart. I go down to 500, pop Cheese, and they just all died of dispersion in the fountain. It was lovely, from my perspective. That's like the
I'm gonna go ahead and block that out of my memory. But yeah, shout out to Devilisk especially. Played really well for us first game on Shadow Demon, and then second game, of course, Wind Ranger hits. He hit some good shackles second game that were able to keep us in the game for a bit. Shout out to him for standing in pretty much last second.
I think first game I'm gonna shout out Scrub because he kind of did. Like, we lost that game, but he did a lot of good calls and made sure we did well, okay in both mid and safe. But in game 2, Broken did quite a lot of good calls, so I'm gonna have to shout out him. But he actually did some game-winning shit there as well.
All right, guys.
Despite being our sick pick.
Thank you very much for coming on. Much appreciated. I hope you guys will be interested in the future as well, as I do intend to make this a weekly thing. And yeah, good luck with your games in the future as well, guys.
Thank you.
Okay. That's that, I guess.
All right, I am now joined by Dare Fangay. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing okay. Not too high, not too low.
All right, that's good. Can I get your team name, please, so I can find you on Dotaba?
Yes, we are team Emilio Estevez Esteve.
Ah, there we go. I found you. All good. Yeah, so talk to me about this draft. You picked techies.
Yeah, we honestly just don't give a shit. My team is very skilled. I know that if I pick techies, we could probably win. So that's why I pick it.
Yeah, so there's some other interesting stuff. You know, you don't see the Podge too often, but the Podge techies, I guess, it's a decent combination. You go for Tinker, and you don't really have the physical damage in the late game. It does look like the Venge took off, but you still managed to win this game. So what went your way in the game?
I'd say the draft for one. I mean, I think they just drafted the CK, and we were just like, oh well, Tinker's in the pool, so we can just counter him really easily. I think we picked the Tinker. I don't know exactly what pick it was in the draft, but it was in a place where it wouldn't be countered.
They did have the bat, but that's about it.
Yeah, I don't consider bat to be too good of a counter. The bat player has to be about 500 MMR or higher than the Tinker player to ever catch him. So
Okay,
yeah.
fair enough. So do you have any more thoughts you want to share on this game in particular?
Not really. The sniper was really farmed in this game, but I just told my team like, if we just accrue a gold lead, we'll just be fine. So that's basically what happened. We let our Tinker farm around, and yeah.
Yeah, it looks like you had the goal lead for most of the game after laning stage. You didn't lose it at all. So yeah.
Also, Poggy was 16-8 on or something on techies. Looks like.
Yeah, 16-8, 11.
Yep.
Looks like you had a pretty damn good game. So yeah, let's look into game number 2 here. So yeah, you went for the Tinker pick again, but with a very different supporting cast. Talk to me about that.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the delay to catch up so I can see the draft on my screen. So yeah, we just like decided to just like first pick Spectre Zeus because you know global is good. And yeah, we realized that we had the Spectre Zeus, so later on in the draft we could just take a Tinker for free if we wanted it, and none of our heroes were particularly threatened in this game. Except for me on Spectre, I just kind of like ran around feeding the whole game while everyone else farmed.
Yeah, it looks like the Tinker was making space for everyone to catch up on the team. Looks like you were quite far behind every other hero, but Tinker has really good timings.
Yep. So we just kind of, I don't know, I remember how I was like 1-6 at one point and I ended the game 10-6, so we just started taking better team fights than them as well.
Yeah, it's pretty hard for them to fight you unless they get the Doom off on the Tinker, which isn't the easiest, and then you still have all of this magic damage. And I do not see a single pipe or BKB on the enemy team.
Neither do I. He did go, what's it called? I think Silver Edge first, and it kind of just led to him just dying and giving up like 700, 800 gold, so don't recommend that one. Yeah.
I'm not sure what they were thinking. It's very, very weird to not see a single pipe or a BKB versus your lineup. Yeah, I felt.
I mean, there was a casual cloak on. So.
He was dreaming about a Glimmer Cape.
Yeah.
So yeah, do you have any closing thoughts on the series? Any callouts? Any shoutouts you want to make?
Yeah, just a call out to Cloudy for having me muted on Discord, making it very hard for me to. Sorry. Apparently, I need to turn my mic up according to your chat.
Unfortunately, I cannot have chat up. I have so many things on my screens right now, so.
It's all good. I'll just talk a little bit louder.
Yeah.
I'll move my mic a little bit closer. Yeah, I would have tried drafting a little differently if I'm the other team. Just like everything they were doing was kind of obvious, and none of the heroes they were picking were particularly good. In the game they were picking them, so work on that. Yeah. I would have thought, yeah, and Cloudy, just unmute me on Discord so I can, you know, tell you when the game's up and stuff so I don't have to message your teammates. Kind of rude to mute another captain in my opinion, but that's all.
Alright, thank you very much for coming on, and well played in your series this night even, and I hope you good luck in the future.
Alright, thank you.
Oh, fuck.
Alright, and we got Skip with us right now.
Hello.
Are you prepared for this, Skip? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling alright. 2-0.
Yeah.
My game.
Uh,
Not my first pick.
what is your team name again?
It's IKEA. Don't worry.
IKEA. Let's see if we can find
It's
this.
trademarked. We the second game wasn't ticketed, so rip.
Okay, well we have game number 1 up on Dota Buff right now. So you played versus the forfeit win stack.
Yeah.
So
And you
what
pushed
were
me, your
your
god.
what were your feelings going into it, knowing that they had the perfect record?
Well, my feelings was that I didn't have my first pick, and he went to go watch the Imagine Dragons concert instead of playing RD12. So, I don't know. I was just kind of confused over the pick for my role, so I decided to play mid, send other people carry. And then this game I got targeted really hard because I picked SF last pick, so I just got ran at by. I got Viper picked as well.
Yeah, I mean, you picked the SF into the Viper, but that's honestly not a bad matchup for Shadowfiend, in my experience.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I just kept getting patients just kept running at me with fucking and dooming me like that whole game. I think at one point I got dove like 3 heroes in the jungle and then like doomed, and then my team just cleaned up.
Yeah, I do think you are the best Doom target, so it makes sense to Doom you.
Yeah, well, my Vela Crucic went off on Axe that game. My
You
plan
got a
was
Abyssal,
just,
holy fuck.
Yeah, I totally get Abyssal. It was a good Abyssal game, dude. Need more lockdown. But yeah, I just had my lane set up where I was like, I pick Bloodseeker where I'm top. He's like a sacrificial lane. If they're gonna go aggro on him, I don't really care. I get farm, Axe gets farm, and then they just like ran an SK versus my Axe solo. So I was like, all right, my Axe just wins really hard. There's not much I can do without like moving more heroes bottom. So he just got a lot of farm. I can send you the second game, like screenshot or something.
Oh yeah, sure. See if I can get that up on the stream as well.
Yeah, let's see. There's also a cast of it if anyone wants to watch it. Riceboy cast it, I think.
Oh, if you give me a link, I will post it in my Twitch chat.
Yep.
But yeah, just go for the screenshot of the game right now, and we can look at that later, or you can post it yourself in my Twitch chat.
Yep.
But the
I guess
screenshot
sounds
we can
good.
get up on stream. Screenshot.
Okay. Yeah, that's the end game screen. So this game was like, just pick myself one of my heroes.
Fuck, we can't see it properly on the stream here.
Oh,
Because I have it set up like perfectly for Dota buff, you know.
oh, rip.
Is that the one? That might be it.
Just move
Yeah,
it a little
that
bit
that
more to the
works.
left.
That works.
I was also hovering up Orchid by accident, rip.
Yeah. Okay. So the picks here. Yeah, you went
Yeah.
pretty ham on the Ember. That I can tell. And it looks like it was a support Wraith King on the enemy team.
Yeah, that was kind of a weird pick. They picked it as like I was like, I can carry, and then they just picked the Spectre after. So I was like, okay, that's like support. And then I just kind of messed up my Zeus idea because they didn't run the Spectre. Spectre's a lot better versus Zeus than Brave King is. But this game, I like the dual lane meta, so I just run my dual lanes, Warlock, Warlock any other hero, safe lane, just does fine. And a little aggro. Zeus plus another core hero.
Oh, yeah, it does look like the Zeus had a great game, but both you and the Lifestealer and Rana even, like your cores,
Yeah, dude.
great games.
For the Throws is actually an insane player. Like I got him like 3rd or 4th pick in the draft, and he's actually really good. So just,
Was there any point in the game where they were looking like quite scary, or were you always like feeling like you had this game?
the last pick Storm is a little bit scary. They don't really have that much lockdown. You have like Golem and Chains and Arrow. So I had him run up by Atos, and then the Storm kind of like he didn't get online fast enough, and his BKB was like good timing, but like at that point his other heroes were losing too hard for him to like solo win the game.
Yeah, well, all right. Any closing thoughts? Any callouts? Any shoutouts you want to make?
Shout outs. Shout out to Mr. Brightside for missing our series.
That's a call out, I believe.
I call out. Yeah, that's a shout out. All right.
Well, thank you very much for
And,
joining me.
almost FF'd for Nier just for the memes. You know, but I'll play the games. Right. See ya.
Yeah, thank you very much. Now we got USS Guam coming up. Shay Doctor wants to skip ahead. We'll check with Guam what he says. Hey Guam, would you be
Yo.
okay with Shay skipping ahead here?
Yeah, sure, that's fine by me.
Alright, thank you. Alright, and we got
Yes.
Shay Doctor skipping ahead here.
Like a lad. Thanks, man.
Yeah, no worries. How are you feeling, man?
I'm doing awesome. What's up, bro?
I'm doing pretty well. You know, I'm a bit nervous. You know, first time doing this.
Oh shit, is it your first time?
Well,
I'll be gentle.
it's the first show, you know.
Oh, okay.
And what is your team name again?
Bend over for the clock.
Bend over clock. We'll see if we can find
No,
this here.
bend over for the cock.
There we go. Yep, we got it. All right. So, but this game doesn't look too good for the Radiant team. So what happened here?
Game one, they gave us a draft that we feel pretty confident in executing. I think they let me and JTK just basically run over them. That was like a 16-minute GG. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, 16-14, the official time.
Yeah. So I mean, basically, if I get a good start in my lane, there are just times where I can just push that advantage, and that's what happened. You just, you let me go off, and
Yeah.
went off.
Yeah, you definitely went off. 10-0-2 from the off lane. Of course, I had JTK on dying with you in the lane as well, with a really nice score of 1-0-13. And then your mid laner, you know, feeding. That's how it is.
Dude, our mid laner actually held his own. Cosmic is pretty high level MMR, and the guy we put in there is like Legends 3 or 4. We basically told him like just don't like lose your lane or do your best
Yeah,
to
I
just
mean,
draw it.
it says middle
And
one.
Well, I think he got a couple of rotations, but like legitimately, he played as like I think TA might be his best hero.
Yeah.
So he just straight up was like, "Give me TA, and you won't be disappointed." And I picked him TA, and straight up wasn't disappointed.
All right, good shit. That's what we want to see. Oh yeah,
I don't know. Our team got like a ton of flack from like having an 0-2 from the first week, but I mean, it takes a little bit of time to get like your team kind of figured out. You got to get that synergy going together. You got to get communication. And you have to kind of understand how your team's going to like play around you.
Yeah, for
Especially when
sure.
you're like a high MMR captain.
Yeah, I feel you. So yeah, not much more to say about the game one here though. So let's go into game number 2, which went 30 minutes longer. So I'm assuming it was a bit closer.
Yeah, game 2. Honestly, it started out similar to game 1. We had a really large early lead, started to push our advantage. We were pushing high ground. We actually got their tier 3 tower, and they're the Shrek. Like I said, the mid player, he's really good. He pulled like the biggest fucking surprise on us. He went Shadowblade on the Shrek, and we didn't know about it. He'd been farming for a lane. We didn't see any of the item buildup. And right as we were like in the midst of that team fight, all of a sudden, like, I'm watching my health. It's going down. I'm like, okay, what the fuck's going on? And next thing I know, I realize I see like a little glimmer of his ultimate, because apparently his ultimate doesn't show up that well when he's invis. So
Yeah, it only shows like a small red effect by your feet, I think.
Exactly. And I suddenly realized, I'm like, oh my god, guys, we need to get out of here. And then we just all dropped. He like legitimately got a triple or quad kill on us. Like, he completely stopped our tier 3 push. Like, that was game ending. We would have taken that Rax. At that point, it's probably like similar to game 1 where it's over like in 20-25 minutes. But he single-handedly stopped the push, held us back, and that Shadow Blade just basically caused him to be an efficient split pusher. He got boots of travel, and he just was a pain in the ass the rest of the game.
Yeah, he does have a very good score. Both Gyro and Lash have pretty good scores. I assume Gyro had the Rapier that Terrorblade ended the game with.
Yeah, Well, they let me get Enigma, and I did. He had a rough lane.
Yeah.
But he was able to come back. They stalled the game out long enough. Doom didn't like really take any farm. They literally just let Gyro and Leshrac take all the farm in that game, and it almost paid off for them. Like some of those team fights were very close, but because we were able to get like an early 2 racks lead on them, probably like 20 minutes of that game, well maybe not 20, but like 15 minutes of that game was us with a 2 racks lead over them, and they just were just resilient. They just took team fight. We would make a mistake where someone would overextend, or we didn't get BKB off, or just miscommunication was done. We target the wrong person. But I don't know. Ultimately our draft, I thought, was just gave us so much better win conditions than theirs. I mean, JTK, like, say what you want about his techies, but like his Naga was on point this game. He legitimately like set up some game-winning ultimates with his song, and it just allowed me to get like a 3-4 man black hole. We would wipe them, and it's like, okay, that was it. Game over.
Yeah. I'm pretty surprised to see that on the Radiant team, there's no armor items, except for the Shivas, which lowers attack speed slightly. There's no Bassi, no Vlads, no AC, when there's pure damage from Enigma, and then there's only physical damage.
Right. They had a Aquila on the Gyro.
Yeah, I'm surprised that, for instance, Doom didn't buy a Vlad's or went for an AC. I feel like that would do a lot of work versus your lineup.
He could have, but you gotta remember, like, they were sacrificing all their farm into like the Lesh Gyro pool. Like that Doom, when he showed up on the map, we just ran after him and killed him. Yeah. Like, there's a reason he's got 13 deaths. It's because we just basically slayed his ass over and over again. Not to mention my safe laner and just kind of pooped on him.
Definitely looks like it. He'd be not a dead hero.
No. We won all of our lanes in that game, actually. So, I mean, when you have that kind of a start, and especially with the kind of lineup we had, we just kept running that advantage. If it wasn't for, like I said, that Leshrac Shadowblade, that was a fucking genius pickup. If it wasn't for that Leshrac Shadowblade, if he went more standard item, like a BKB or something else like that, they'd probably lose that game 20-25 minutes, and it's another quick victory.
It's a game where you really don't want to go BKB, right? Because there's barely any magic damage. It's like, what would you get? It's like Malefice, get out of Roots, and Reflection, remove that, I guess?
I mean, like, the net will, like, you could do it for the net, I suppose, but, I mean, you have, like, Yules to get out of nets. You're right. Like, BKB, really the big thing that you would want it for is the Warlock Fatal Bonds. Fatal Bonds.
Oh, yeah, that's a really good point.
Pretty ridiculous, especially when we get that proper setup. Like, when we get that song into, like, 4-man song, even if I don't get them all in the black hole, you get the Fatal Bonds them, you'd just be surprised how quickly their HP starts dropping.
All right, well, it looks like you had a very nice 2-0 here. Despite the Shadowblade Leshrac, you did manage to win. So do you have any closing thoughts on this? Any callouts, any shoutouts you want to make?
Oh yeah, I got some shoutouts to my boys. Shoutout definitely goes to Battlewazer for honestly, like, playing way well above his level. Like, I've seen him feed, like, just straight up feed mid a few times, but this time he just went in with like a head full of confidence, and man, Cosmic, you gave that boy so much confidence right now. He's going into this next game like fucking head over heels. He's gonna, like, if people keep giving him TA, he's just gonna keep running over people. Like, his TA is actually makes him at least a full medal, like, better than like he says he is.
Yeah, all right. So look out for LS Battlewazer. How do you pronounce that?
Battlewazer.
Battlewazer. Okay, so look out for his TA in the future. Captains, beware. You might want to ban it. Was that
also,
it? Yeah.
No, I also got a shout out to Lord Muffin as well for just making the transition from mid to safe. And for the fact that, God, actually, I would just give a shout out to my entire team. They've been, this was a good team win. Just a good team win.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't do that much. This was, like, more or less me getting carried by them.
Oh, game 1, I think you can take a lot of credit.
Well, I mean, it looks, the score will show that, but I mean, a lot of those kills, I mean, don't happen without good rotations from my mid, without excellent play from the Undying without my safe laner basically causing them. I mean, they had to like send 4 heroes after me at a certain point, and that's just because every other lane was losing. They're like, we gotta salvage this. How do we salvage it? Let's all go kill Shay, and it's sometimes harder than At least Wind Ranger makes it harder.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you very much for coming on, and congrats.
Thank you for skipping me.
Yeah, I can be nice. You just got to be a reasonable person, and don't be mad about it. And sure, why not? Yeah,
All right.
congrats on the 2-0, and good luck in the future.
Likewise to you, man. I hope we'll see you in the next couple of weeks.
For sure. All right, and now we got USS Guam coming up here. How are you doing, man?
I posted the Dota buff for you.
Oh, thank you. Very helpful.
Ahead of the game.
All right, so looks like you got a 2-0 here. Yeah, so look at the game 1 draft. How are you feeling going into this here?
Game 1, I thought we were going to stomp game 1. We felt really confident in the draft. Game 2 was shaky, actually, more than game 1. We were afraid of the bristle offlane, but it wasn't too bad. It's pretty much. We were getting dumpstered by Bloodseeker Prohibit, but fucking Rob, I Want Wind to Blow, had like a game-changing ulti in mid lane, which won us the game pretty much. Turned the game all 360.
All right. That's the dream when you're playing the Witch Doctor, when you get that full duration ulti and he's just destroying.
Yeah.
But do you feel did you have the better draft here? Do you think that you were gonna win going into late game? Is that it?
Yeah, we were looking for late game.
Yeah.
We knew early game was gonna be tough, but we were just like, hold off late game. We can do this. And
yeah. Playing Mag into Zeus can always be hard. Getting off the ultis.
Zeus got pretty late ags. It was like 30 or 40 minutes, so it helped us a lot. So between then, Mag got good ults, and
yeah.
And then with the silencer, we just Loves did well with the silencer.
Yeah.
Kept Zeus in check.
He
so.
stole a fuck ton of int. That's 84.
Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah.
84.
In the early game, we shit on top. Like, he got so much int there, so he got that +2 int, level 15 or level 10 or something, and he was like a carry at that point.
Yeah, I mean that looks great for you guys. So, okay, you got this game 1 victory, and then let's look at game 2 here. What happened here? So you went for the Slark pick again. So yeah, were you feeling it was just a Slark game again, or were you just feeling confident with the hero?
Said pick me Slark, so I was just gonna say, you know what, this will carry, do what he wants. Gave him Slark, and he carried us.
They went mid pudge. Mid pudge.
Yeah, mid pudge was just free from fire. So
yeah,
that game was just like, I think they got or something. I don't know. That game was wash for them.
Yeah, that it looks like maybe they crumbled a bit after game 1.
Yeah, we don't know what happened. Once we saw the pudge middle, we were just like, all right, game's pretty over.
Yeah, the Skywrath bought 4 null talismans.
Yeah, I saw that.
And some treads afterwards.
Yeah, they were tilted all the time.
Yeah, but I assume you guys feel pretty confident after this, though.
Oh yeah, for sure. That 2-0 helped us so much.
Yeah, that's what you want to see here, middle of the season. You know, those 2-0s are really important right now.
I think our drafts are clicking now, so I think we'll go up in.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, do you have any closing thoughts on this series here?
Not really. Thanks
right.
to the 2-0, I guess.
Any shoutouts? Any callouts?
No, not really.
Yeah, all right. Well, I appreciate you coming on. Wow, that was interesting. But yeah, I appreciate that you came on. Very nice to see you get a 2-0.
Yeah.
Well done, and hope to see your team do well in the future.
I'll see you next week.
Yeah, sure, dude. You are very welcome. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, now we got Badger. Hello, Mr. Badger, sir.
Oh, Hedge Mikkel, how are you doing, sir?
I'm supposed to ask you that, I think, but yeah, I'm, a bit nervous, but I'm getting through it. I'm getting through it. Feeling good.
How does it feel to be on the other end of the equation with you asking me the questions?
It's okay. This is a bit more casual, but it's all in good fun, right?
Of course,
But
of course.
it feels good. Feels good. So yeah, we do have a game 1 up here, and looks like the classic Badger Necro. So your lineup, when I look at it, I'm thinking no one really picks those heroes. There's 3 heroes. There's 3 green heroes. You don't see those heroes that often. So what was the thought process in this draft here?
See, we see in meta right now, we see all these red heroes, right? And people are picking like red heroes and blue heroes, but I said, you know what? Let's pick some green heroes. So, but in all seriousness, my 5 player likes to play Wisp. I picked him Wisp. I decided, all right, I'll pick Earth Spirit to counter with that, and I will pick a bunch of heroes to team fight early on and win the lanes, and then we lost the lanes. We lost all of our lanes, so it didn't work.
Very, very unfortunate, of course.
The idea was to win 2 lanes, possibly 3 lanes, and we won 0 lanes. So from that exact moment, we lost the game.
So were you considering going for 3 Veil of Discords on your team? Since I see you went 2 Null Talismans.
I just wanted the Null Talismans to get the lane
Yeah,
damage.
you got them after the treads. This is interesting. You got 2 nulls after treads.
I had like double circlets for a while. It was bad. I had a really hard lane. That was actually the story of the series. Both games I had a very bad lane.
Okay.
The thing is, okay, it's okay. I lost the battle for Jakiro. Like, it's okay. These things happen. Nobody's perfect.
Debatable.
Alright, not everyone could be you, Mikkel. Not everyone could be you, dude.
Yeah, that is true. Unfortunately, but that is the truth. So, all right. So, anything else you want to say about this game in particular? Any other thoughts?
I'm gonna blame my draft on that one, even though I could also blame it on my player skill. I'm gonna blame it on my draft. It was a bad draft for me. I needed to pick a hero that does physical damage, and I didn't do that.
Dude, I feel like the new Necro, actually, you have so good right-click talents,
I realize when you being either ahead or even in
Very-
that level
very
10,
true.
like minute 22,
I just
It was-
remember I played Necro with a PA, and I had more attack speed and more damage than the PA. It was very fun.
It sounds a lot of fun, actually.
Yep. So I was the right click carry, and the PA was, I don't know, nothing. She hit creeps or something. But yeah.
That seems about right.
All right. That's that for game number 1. So let's take a look at game number 2, where actually Badger got his first win.
We actually got a win. It was a surprise because we're not used to doing that,
Yeah, no
'Cause
one
we were
thought
07
this would
going into this
happen.
game.
No one thought
I
this would
didn't
happen.
even think it was gonna happen. Like, I thought we were gonna lose 0-2. Like,
Mhm.
usually when you think your own team's gonna lose 0-2, you're gonna lose 0-2. We didn't. We got a win.
That's fine. I personally can say that I'm very proud of you. And now you could just lose the rest of the games, and you've already won one. There's no pressure.
That I wanted the whole time.
Looks like the TA in this game had a lot of last hits. It was a very long game too. So yeah.
I mean,
So let's
thing is-
draft first. Let's discuss the draft.
Yeah, so for game number 1, I banned out. See, the co-eternal is Velvel, aka Nerf Bubbles, one of the EST Monday Divine One-Off mid laners. He's really good at Lina, TA, Marana. My team got dumpstered by the Marana in the game earlier, so I ended up not banning out TA, but I knew they would pick TA. I was like, all right, how do we beat TA? Yeah, let's beat her in lane. How do we how do we break refraction in lane from the TA? Phoenix! Let's put Phoenix middle.
How did you not just pick Venomancer?
I don't have a Veno player, dude. Like, you've seen my Veno, it's not good. My other players can't play Veno. Like, I don't know how, but we can't play Veno.
Okay,
Legitimately
but,
cannot play the hero.
I mean, it says he lost mid with the Phoenix, but in the end you won the game, so I assume the Phoenix did something. But how did the lane go for the Phoenix?
We had like a 4-level disadvantage in minute 10, dude. It was
Yeah,
bad.
because I've played both As and versus Phoenix with range heroes. The other hero is a range hero, and you're sitting there. You're a Phoenix. It's like, yeah, I have 0 armor. I'm ready to go. And then
Nah,
you start.
you don't, dude. You can't only have. You have like negative 0.5 armor. You have less than 0 armor.
Yeah, you go for like one right click trade, and it's like, nope, never again.
Angles had happened too. I was like, "Yo, are you gonna be able to beat the TA damage wise?" And he said, "Yeah, sure." And I knew in my heart he wasn't going to be able to win the mid lane, but I trusted him anyways.
Yeah, it's very sad. Yeah, it's the same with Io. If you play a mid, there's no armor. Very sad. But yeah, so what happened in this game to let you win it, despite you only won the safe lane, you lost the off lane, you lost the mid lane.
How do we? Okay, I'm not sure how we won the safe lanes. I had very little farm. I was level 2 at minute 5, dude. I'm very surprised I won the safe lane.
Yeah, it's just however much farm you had of like 10 minutes or something. So apparently you had more, but you also had 3 heroes in the lane, which might amount to more gold than the 2 of them, I guess.
I don't know, dude. But the thing is, the entire idea of this game was to pick heroes that are okay losing their lanes, pick some team fight.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice
You picked a lot of team fight. Yeah.
I picked the Tide. You don't see much Tide anymore. You see less Witch Doctor. You don't see Phoenix. But you know what? You pick those heroes.
Yeah, but
it works.
I look at your team and I think, how do they kill anyone? Where's the damage coming from? You might be able to kill one hero with Maledict, but how do you kill more heroes without the Spectre having items?
I mean, we would get this punch hook, and it would work. It would hit one of their heroes, and then we would be fighting a 5v4. And then the thing is, it's really hard to high ground, even with Aegis, 4v5 into Phoenix, Tidehunter, Spectre, Witch Doctor, etc.
I agree.
So they had to play more passively. They kept farming it out. But eventually, we get all these key items on our heroes. They don't actually finish their acts. Well, we get item after item after item, and then they can't kill us anymore. We're too strong.
All right. Well, I mean, it is a strategy. It's like when I played the OQs and we played the never lose the game will eventually win us the game. The Zeus Techie's high ground. It works out.
I remember that.
Yeah. It works
by
out.
10,000 viewers.
If you never lose, you will eventually win.
That was the mentality here, because eventually they 6-slotted the Templar Assassin. They couldn't do much with the Windrunner because she couldn't focus fire me in the team fight. I had a Blade Mail and Dispersion. She was taking like 3 times the damage she was doing to me. That's not viable for her.
And they did not buy a Silver Edge, which I think you could have bought on the Windrunner in this game or on the Lifestealer.
Buy it on literally any hero, and I don't do things. Because the entire idea here, I didn't buy Radiance. It was sit there, use Blade Mail, take damage.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't stop it. They just hit me anyways, and they died.
Okay, so some questionable decisions from the enemy team. Is that why you won this game?
I mean, this is to be expected, right? This is a game where going into the series, the two teams had to combine 2 wins. Like, there's not much to be accomplished with the series here. And we're here to have fun, pick some fun heroes, win some Dota. And we did both of those things. I'm proud of my team.
Was the first 30 minutes of this game fun?
It was tense.
It was tense, okay.
I think I was reassuring my team, we're going to hold the high ground, we're going to be fine. And then we held the high ground, so it worked.
Strategy was successful. All right, so any closing thoughts on the series? Any shoutouts? Any callouts you want to make?
Callouts to pull back the bolts. He offensively tipped me, thinking they were going to win the game in bad manners multiple times.
Karma got him.
And then he lost, so it feels good. Too bad I didn't get the battle points, but I appreciate the bad manners there. And shoutouts to my team. We got to win. I am so proud of all of you. Thank you, boys.
All right, well, thank you very much for joining me, Badger. And I'm, as said before, very proud of you for getting your first win. And I hope to see you get at least one more win in the future. And to also see you back on my show.
I'll be back. Even if I owe it to you, I'll be back. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
All right, good luck with your show, man.
All right, Nutty Pizza here, joining me for the next one. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm feeling great. As said before, slightly nervous, but I'm working it out. I'm working it out. Let's see if we can find you.
I'm just coming here to preemptively defend the 2 Viper picks. They were just really good picks at the position of the draft. It's the only reason I'm here.
A Viper into Spectre is always a good pick, I believe. So yeah, talk to me about
Yeah.
game 1 drafts. Except for the Viper, though. We cover that. That's fine.
Game 1. So they banned the Earth Spirit Pango, which I appreciate. And they banned the Axe, which is good. I don't like banning offlaners out because I can play like 3 offlaners really well, so I always get one of them the first round. So we took the Jakiro Underlord. They took the Lesh Witch Doctor, so I don't like that start from them because those are 2 kind of squishy supports. So we banned the Lena, LC, pick the Tusk. Boog plays a good Tusk, gets on top of squishy supports. They show a Spectre, so the Viper's good there. They pick a Bat. We ban the Kunkka. They ban the Dusa. We pick a Slark. Slark's good into the back, good into the Spectre, and then they pick a Yairo. Oh no, they pick the Yairo, then we pick the Slark. So the Slark was just good there. The Spectre was good there. Those heroes won us the game.
So they actually had a decent goal lead, like 1-2K, until 40 minutes into the game.
Yeah, I actually took screenshots of both these graphs and posted them in the team Discord. We felt like we were a lot further behind than we were for most of that game, but I think we had them in the late game just mainly because of the Viper. Like Viper had a terrible time. Look at all those Viper deaths at the beginning, but all we needed was reliable break, and we had enough to hold the Spectre in place with the Pit, the Jakiro, the slow from the Viper, the Tusk. So it was easy for us to just keep that, and then the leash from the Slark too. So it was easy for us to just control the Spectre and in the Nether Toxin.
It is extremely surprising to me that she did not buy a BKB.
Yeah, we were really surprised by the Orchid into Bloodthorn. BKB's, I don't know. I like playing Spectre if I have to play like a carry hero in a pub. BKB doesn't ever feel great on her.
This game, there's no way you do not buy BKB.
I mean, the
There's no way.
Viper still kites ya.
You're gonna
Slark
be
had an
no,
abyssal.
you're gonna get triple hexed and stand in the Viper W. You're gonna die every time if you don't have a BKB. You can't.
I forgot we had 3 hexes too.
There's no way. You can't just say no. I'm just gonna tank through all of that. I don't think that's a thing. Like
Yeah,
if there's no break and only 3 hexes, then you have the dispersion through it, sure. But with the breaks, I don't think you can't. You have to buy BKB, I think. Obviously, they still could have won the game. Now I haven't watched the game, but they did have a lead for most of the game. But you eventually overcame them. So
their largest lead was like 2.4k, 2.5k.
37 minutes, 2,480. I think that's the most. But yeah, obviously not a significant lead.
Actually, they had a much bigger XP lead than anything. They were 13,000 at 35.
Yeah, that is quite substantial.
Yeah, that first game was completely on the fact that we had a reliable source of break. And you can look actually at the graph too, if you're on the Dota Buff one. The Viper died at like 41, and then there's a ton of Viper deaths before that, and then after that he only died twice more in the remaining 20 minutes of the game.
Yeah,
that was just him being able to live through it on Nether Toxins. And that was story game 1. Game 2.
Yeah, sure. Let's go into game 2. So yeah, you got your hero again, and the Viper mid, of course, but we do see some change-ups. No, Viper safe lane. Sorry. You did have the Kunkka mid. My apologies.
Yeah, they opened with the Axe, so we had a second pick, so took the Sky just to deny it. They picked a Nyx. Nyx feels weird. He had a decent impact in the early game. He ganked mid a bunch, but I don't know. I just don't think he's in the meta as a 4 or at all right now, especially not as a 4 though. The Kunkka was kind of a deny pick, and it was because the Underlord was still out there, and they let me get it. And they showed an offlaner, so I thought I could get that. Just lots of control again, lots of team fight, and then they show a TA, and they don't ban the Viper. So you kind of got to pick the Viper. and it's really good against the axe, and that gave us the flexibility to either win the safe lane or mid with the Viper, and they played a little lane swap at the beginning too. But once we just had some time to farm up, the Viper went completely different builds between the first and second game. Era played in both games,
Yeah.
but we had just really flexible lineup. It worked.
In game 1, it was more of a tanky build. Game 2, we went for more right-click build.
And I'm like, hey, I'm building an AC. And he's like, I already have one. Like, oh, okay. Won't build an AC.
Yeah, I understand why you'd want armor though versus the enemy team. But there is some other things to worry about. Could have been a decent BKB game for Viper.
What do you think of my Underlord build? Because I actually I verbalized I don't think Crimson or Pipe are good in this game at all. So I'm just gonna go Greaves first and then went into Atos after that.
But I don't know what does Greaves do? Is my question.
It purged. Oh no, there was silence in the first game, not this one.
Yeah, she got a.
It's just a stain for the team.
You might have got an Orchid in between the Deso and BKB, I suppose. On the TA.
Yeah, she could have. I usually see that way later though.
Yeah, but
if a TA gets one at all.
Yeah, but I feel like that's not a reason to pick up Greaves anyway for your hero.
What do you get then if you don't start with either Crimson, Pipes, or Greaves on Underlord? You go straight to Atos? What do you do for boots?
You can get
phase?
No, you don't have to upgrade boots, or you can go Arcanes if you're not buying Soul Ring. You don't have to upgrade them early either. But going for Greaves first questionable to me. You could buy just different supportive items, like you can buy Force Staff, you can go for a Hex, you can go for a Shivas, which is good versus the enemy team. You could buy your own BKB for this game, just stand in the front. I think there are many different items you can go for depending on how you want to play it. Like if you just want to be in the front, you can buy you can go for the Shivas BKB or stuff like that, and just go in the middle of the fights. You could also buy Blade Mail.
Need something to give you some HP. I think the Atos first maybe, is that a thing?
Atos is fine. It's pretty good with the cast rage. Gives you additional catch. You know, you have the Skywrath as well that you can combo with if he isn't able to get it himself.
Yeah, Underlord's really squishy without any HP items or stat items.
Yeah, versus these here, TA and the OD, they aren't really reliant on base damage, so he doesn't really negate their damage that much. Like TA is mainly added damage with the refraction, the melt, the deso, which is barely negated by the aura.
Yeah, and the OD does pure damage. And
yeah.
What's Axe Spin? Is Axe Spin pure?
Yeah, it's pure. It's not affected by those things anyway. It used to be physical damage, but it's been pure for a while.
Too many goddamn rules in this game.
I agree, but it also makes the game fun and interesting, you know?
It does.
It's quite often where you just find something out you had no clue about, but you've been playing the game all the time. You just assume something, but it didn't work that way. That happens quite often, I'd say.
Yeah. But two good games. We had fun tonight.
Yeah. Do you have any closing thoughts or any shout outs, any call outs you want to make?
No, thanks for the good games phase. Good job, team. Really happy with how everyone did tonight.
Yeah, congratulations on your 2-0. I wish you luck in the future.
I hope we don't see you next week.
We'll find out, I guess. And thank you very much for joining me tonight.
All right, thanks for having me.
All right, and now we got Melee joining us here. How are you doing, man?
I'm feeling great. Quite happy, in fact, to DNM, which it was validating because I feel like my team really showed a lot of what we worked on in practice, and that's always a good thing to see as a coach. Especially, personally, we had a rough day the other day. We weren't at our best this last week, but I think it may have been growing pains because all the shit we didn't do against you in scrims, I felt like we did tonight.
All right.
So, feels good.
So you're saying you would beat my team in a scrim now?
Don't know. Hard to say. Scrims are a funny business.
Yeah, of course. You try stuff out.
You try stuff out. People aren't always on their best game or trying their hardest. I never trust scrim results for interpreting teams because I know I've played in past seasons where I've beaten a team in a scrim and got annihilated by them in a official. So there's a weird psychology to it. But yeah, I think we could beat Uniscrim. We're going to be playing next week, so I think we could beat you in official.
Are we?
I bet. I mean, you 2-0'd Redondo, right? And we 2-0'd DNM, so that leaves you and me. If I had to guess.
Isn't Nutty safe score?
No, I think Nutty's one game behind.
He just said he was scared of playing me next week.
It's a toss-up, because I've already played Skip.
Yeah.
And Skip 2-0'd as well. So Nutty's, I'm not going to get matched up against Skip.
I could get Skip, though.
Yeah, so it could be you versus Skip and me versus Nutty, or I guess you versus me and vice versa.
Yeah, but all right, let's just get into game number 1 here, so we don't get too sidetracked. All right, so just talk to me about this draft here. You open with the double deny picks, the Lich and the Enigma.
Yeah, I've played against this in the past. Thank you, Shea Doctor, for introducing. We experimented with it in laning drills and found the only thing that can beat it is Gyrocopter. That's it. Because with the Gyrocopter, you can farm the Eidolons, and the hero counters Enigma and Lich because the magic damage. Kunkka? Kunkka safe lane?
Yes.
Yes.
I dumpster Ryle's team last season.
That is a possibility I hadn't thought about. I will have to try it. I haven't played Kunkka safe lane, but I should probably learn it.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that.
It is the Enigma counter, 100%.
But it doesn't matter because DNM is a gyro player, not a Kunkka player. So we knew if we banned the gyro, it'd open up that cheese strat. So now with the Enigma Lich, basically it's impossible for him to come out of the laning phase on top of where I am. So that's basically a strat. We wanted him to not have any lane to go to. That's why the Razor pick happened, because we knew that depending on their last pick, we could just make it so he wouldn't feel safe in either side lane, because he would either be against the Razor and get drains, or he'd be against the double deny bullshit.
Yeah.
So the Razor pick was also a bit of a bait switch because Longoria does not play Razor, and I wanted to see if I could bait them into a weaker one position that I could then counterpick with my own position. And it worked perfectly because they had Beastmaster, SF, and their last pick Luna, and I had a Terrorblade still in the match. So I just picked Terrorblade, and that's really tough to deal with. I have to say, DNM really terrified us because he almost came back with a Refresher Ags ulti and a mini stun. Like, I got burst down a couple times that way. But I think they were just too far behind from the laning phase to really carry it home. And the rest of my team played really, really well. I have, like I said, I'm really happy with how they've done. How they've grown.
Triple refresh. Triple ulti Enigma. He has double refresh. He
didn't even get used because he got Naga ulti. And by the time he had to blink out to keep himself alive. So by the time his blink was back up for the refresher use, the game was over, basically. So, feels bad.
Slightly surprised he didn't go Lincoln over refresher since they have 2 BKB piercing tables.
He possibly should have done that. I don't know. I wasn't micromanaging his items at that point, so I think it's one of those situations where we'd only know if we went back in time and ran it again.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I think I asked him to build a refresher specifically because we were defending high ground, and he had the gold and it just uses buyback. And was the first item that came to mind that was the most expensive, and I think we needed to refresh the black hole.
Yeah, and you can buy it in base.
Yes, exactly. That was probably the main reason, honestly. It's always nice to see another good Luna, because I play Luna a fair amount, and I don't really often go the Ags refresher build, but I'm a connoisseur of alternative builds.
I've noticed.
I think laser cannon Luna is always a joy to watch, especially when it's from probably the best safe lane in the league.
Yeah, I think it's very underratable. I think after you added 25 talent, it can always work out. Always.
It's a perma stun basically. Yeah. Especially when you have something like the Naga illusion to put it on, and you can just laser cannon from across the world.
Yeah, and you have a Blink Beastmaster who can just go on someone. You can just ulti on top and as well. Yep.
The Beastmaster I did not feel the presence of at all in this game. I don't think he ever really got an ulti he wanted off. Did he build a blink? I don't remember.
Yeah, he had a 33-minute blink.
Yeah, I never felt that blink, honestly. Like, I was never scared. I mean, it might be because I was a TV with, 3,000 health. asunder. But I mean, he's certainly nothing even coming close to Filsky, the man himself. But yeah, I don't have anything else to say. I've kind of rambled there.
Did you go Mask of Madness?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I've gone Mask of Madness before on Terrorblade. I don't really think it's all that great.
Okay.
I think it's more important once you have the Morbid Mask. That's all you need to just perpetually stay in the jungle while you last hit the side lanes with your illusions.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how you farm with TB, and that's just what I did.
Yeah. Okay. So
yeah.
Yeah. So let's get into game number 2.
Okay.
See what happened here. Well, you definitely went for a way different draft this game.
Mm-hmm.
So what were you thinking going into this after having won game 1?
Let me see if I can go back and replicate what I was thinking. We were playing our 5th round, and they had to grab another stand-in at my request to have somebody of equivalent skill to him. So we had to. I know Hotshot's hero pool. I know he plays Doom well. And I know if I just take away Doom, he'll probably have a middling game impact. Beyond that, I felt like DNM probably didn't want to get a Rising hero and wanted to just murder people and feel like he could solo carry the game. I never anticipated the Clinks pickup. I didn't see that in research, or it didn't stick in my memory at least. So that was a bit of a surprise. But really, we just we didn't want to Lich Enigma them again because it would have been in poor taste, and because I felt like he might know a way to beat it besides the gyro. So we skipped that, and instead we just went with the standard Warlock and Filsky Pango, which is pretty strong. It's won us quite a few games, even though it doesn't look like he had like a huge impact here with the 4 and 7 and 27. He did, just because of the threat of his initiation and the amount of CC he provides at choke point fights is insane. So really, it was a more like we picked the CK as a flex between 4 and 1 in our last game with Spasm, and I was counting on DNM anticipating that. So I knew we'd have some flexibility there. And once I saw that he hadn't really counterpicked it, I just decided to go ahead and take it safe. So the game turned into DNM feeding off of our dual lane, which didn't go as anticipated. I thought if Nutter enfeebled Clinks, he wouldn't be able to last it because I wouldn't have been able to last it, but DNM is not me. Apparently he's better than me. So that did not work as anticipated. We lost that lane. He started getting kills and snowballing. And once he had the Orchid, I just told the team, okay, stay close, always be together in farm. Let's get sentries on the choke points. He will make a mistake trying to find a kill because I knew his mindset for the game. He wanted to just murder people and end the game himself.
Yeah.
And we did that again and again. We just kept finding him and killing him. And slowly I built up my items. I started with the Lincoln so I can get solo picks. So I had a little more flexibility to farm slightly away from my team. And then I just built the Shadowblade. I like Shadowblade on CK, especially the Lincolns, because you have the actual int to use it. It lets you reinitiate in fights with your ulti, or initiate with your ulti out of vision.
Yeah.
If you watch your play, you see at one point I was going to go for a solo kill on Hish in top lane when he was farming a wave. I popped my ulti in the trees and Shadowbladed to find him. Unfortunately, my ulti placed me stuck in the trees, so it didn't work. But that's the idea behind it. Because there's it's a pretty long range where your illusions will get included.
I think it's over 1,000 even.
Yeah, it's quite strong. And really, all CK needs is to get off his Q and his W without the enemy being able to respond, and you can kill most heroes in the game. Especially if you go the Bloodthorn build, which I did not this game since we had Longoria on Storm.
Yeah.
So just slowly build up stats, and it was harder and harder for them to find a good fight because I was impossible to kill, and because we had more items. And Nutter and Spasm bought like 100 fucking sentries, not even joking, and they could never make a play.
Yeah.
So slowly we came back, and after a good fight, I think we just stormed down mid, and they one by one chain fed in desperation, and that's that. That's all she wrote.
Your team bought a total of 62 sentry wards.
You should check the first game because I think the total was 123 for both games.
So we had 62 here, and game 1 was 59.
Yeah,
that's 121. Yeah. The enemy team total 38.
My supports know their job and their role, and they play it well.
Yeah, 100%. I have not seen those sentry numbers before. Not that I've been looking for it, but I think that might be the highest so far this season.
I think it probably is.
Yeah.
It was for the SF in game 1 because we did the same thing to SF that we did in Clink's game 2. He kept trying to find pickoffs with a Shadow Blade. I think there's a point where when you're on a Shadow Blade pickoff type hero or like a Clink's, you just need to realize and anticipate the other team is waiting for you. You just need to settle down and farm a bit and wait for an opening through another avenue.
Yeah.
That's the weakness, right? It's because it can be hard to farm on a Clink. So you're not going to out farm even a CK who's not that great at it himself.
I suppose that's why you went back from Yolnir.
Yeah, I assume so, and also for the AoE, yeah. But it's just not. It doesn't play to Klink's strengths, right? You want to be hitting those T4s at like 25 minutes with your death zone, and he couldn't get to that point. I don't think they planned their kills around taking objectives enough.
Yeah. Okay. You have any closing thoughts on this? Any shoutouts? Any callouts you want to make?
It sounds like DNM's team wasn't at full strength. Apparently, Octane says DNM was sick, and I know they were missing a person. Whatever. I'm still happy with the wins. I think they were honestly playing just fine, close to full strength, if not perfectly full strength. And I'm feeling really confident moving forward. I can't wait to see how the season ends. And now I'm starting to look towards how I beat Monday teams, like Logical, who I know is really at the top of the pack. Probably going to move my focus, my scrims a little over to EST Monday and start looking into playoffs.
Yeah, all right, man. Looking forward. You're ready for playoffs already. So, yeah. So, congrats on the 2-0. And unless I'm playing you next week, then I wish you good luck in next week's games as well. I hope to see you back in the future. Thank you very much for joining me.
No problem. See you.
All right, and now I am joined by JB, who will be here in place of his captain, Nifim, who is not here, obviously. So, JB, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, sure, dude. You know, if your captain can't make it, let's just bring JB on. That's great.
Yeah, sure. I hear he has some finals tomorrow, so you know.
All right, I'm gonna need your teams now. I do not remember that, unfortunately.
Okay, so unfortunately we used a different tag this week, and I think it was Nifim +4.
Let's see if I can.
Nifim Dota +4, actually. I forget what we were using before, like special scuba sauce or something, but Nifim came back this week just like, no, we're using this tag. I'm the boss. Nifim Dota +4. And we're like, okay, whatever you say, Captain.
There we go. I got it. All right, so game 1. I do not believe you're the drafter for your team, but you did play Windrun in this game. So
I did.
How was your captain looking at the draft here? Did you guys have anything pre-planned or?
Yeah, we saw that Chid did really well on Wind Ranger his last week, and we thought that was something that they would target early on. So because we had first pick, and I play that hero, and Nifim also plays that hero, we thought it was a pretty flexible first pick for us to take. Yeah, so that's how we ended up with the Wind Ranger. This game was weird because they had Doofgod standing in, which we were not really expecting. Like, he's a Monday player, and I don't think any of us really knew him. Like, Nifim played him in the playoffs, I think, a season or two ago, but we had like no idea he played Wisp, and so them picking that was like a huge kind of wrench in the cogs for us.
Yeah, but I mean, you managed to prevail. What happened? How did you guys win it even after that?
We did like the standard dual lanes with the Wind Ranger in the off lane, and I feel like we did a pretty reasonable job of holding the Luna down. And Jakiro does a pretty good job. They did like this Marana Wisp off lane, and we had a stand-in sniper for Boiled Goose, who wasn't available today, and he did a good job of kind of making sure that Glacius had a pretty good time on his Morphling. So our lanes, I think, went pretty well, other than mid. I guess it says Drew, but Nifim was getting a little bit upset early on. He had some interesting things to say about the Death Prophet hero early on, but you know, just standard Nifim Dota.
Yep.
He definitely came back and made some really good plays for us. So I think maybe The big moment maybe for us was around like the 30-minute mark. We got our Jakiro kind of picked off somewhere near Roche, and we had wards though there. Then we kind of saw them going into do Roche, and they thought it was safe, I guess, because I think like our Morphling was bottom and our Ember was top, and they thought they could maybe do it quick enough. I was kind of nearby, but I'm like a Wind Ranger isn't that much I can do, but I can kind of power shot it to kind of see where the Roche is like in terms of hit points, and it was fortunate enough to be able to blink in and steal the Aegis. And then like by that point, my Ember and I don't know if the Morph was there, but basically we were able to turn that fight. I got the Roche seal, they killed me, but then we won. I think we killed all of them at that point. So that was a pretty big moment for us. And in general, they just had like a really good pushing lineup, and they were pretty strong early. But I thought we kind of understood our win condition was just like splitting, avoiding the team fights, and getting to like the 30-40 minute mark when we were stronger, I guess.
And this net worth graph is pretty crazy. Just up and down and up and down and then up again for you guys.
Yeah,
you had a 12k lead.
Like from 30 minutes on, it should just be like in our favor. But we made some of it is just like real bad play by us. We've actually haven't scrimmed once as a team since basically since draft. So we occasionally have some coordination errors, but some of it was good play by the enemy team as well. But we definitely had an advantage, and if we were maybe more experienced, we could have ended this game probably 20 minutes earlier. Like we took 2 racks, I think, around like the 30 or 35 minute mark, and it was just like such a struggle for the rest of the game to like just finally finish it off. And there were times where we were like, actually, are we going to lose this game?
Yeah, sometimes that's how the game feels. I had a similar feeling in my second game today. We also managed to win eventually, but sometimes it just feels like everything's closing in. It's like why are we losing this? We were like ahead,
Yeah. So like that peak at 35, I think, is us taking the 2 racks, and then when it goes back to their side, that's like they win the team fight or something, and then they have like Luna, who obviously does a lot of damage to buildings, but instead of going for racks, they go for the big play, they go for the throne, and it just like didn't work out for them. And I think after that, we were finally able to close out the game.
Yeah, I see. They killed 1 tier 3 and 1 tier 4.
They killed a tier 4, but they didn't kill any racks. Yeah, so. I mean, yeah, but no. I mean, if they had won that fight, obviously they would have won the game. That would have been so bad for us. Niflheim was real close to tilting out of the league if we had lost that game.
Yeah, but so you're up 1-0. You're going into game number 2 here, and what happened? It looks like you had some great games for both Scarface and Niflheim, but you didn't get the W. What went
wrong? Well, so I guess we banned the Wind Ranger and picked the Sky. I mean, I'm like pretty focused on myself here. I guess I had like a really good first 10 minutes where like, I mean, Sky plus anything basically wins the off lane, right? So like, obviously that went reasonably well. It actually probably I played it pretty bad. I died a couple more times than I probably should have, but we also like Niflheim started whining about mid, and he's like, you guys got to come kill the sniper. So, we made some rotations. I thought we got a couple of, actually, it looks like we got like, 5 kills on sniper, 4 or 5 kills in the first like 12 minutes or so.
First 12 minutes, yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, like, I feel like I needed to help top more. I mean, the Night Stalker Slardar just crushed our top lane. It was such a problem. And like Glacius is, I mean, he's our highest MOR player, and I mean, he, obviously he's good enough to know how to like kind of come back from that. But I mean, having him down on net worth, and we just had such a huge problem kind of coordinating how we were gonna take these team fights. I mean, basically we needed a really good chrono. We had to be the initiators, and we had to burst down probably the sniper, but like even the Night Stalker was such an issue for us. There were times like we would chrono him, I would ult him as Skywrath, and like he actually just still wouldn't die because I don't know, somehow we just didn't have enough damage, I guess, from his pipe and like Solar Crest and everything else.
Even if he died, there was a Wraith King Aghanim's in this game.
Yeah, I mean Wraith King, he had I guess a tougher game, but that Axe, I don't know. How do you feel about the Wraith King Axe?
Uh,
It's just interesting item choice,
it
right?
is indeed interesting. Um, uh, it can make sense in some ways. Maybe we'll let the Dazzle Grave an ally or something if Dazzle dies first.
Yeah, I just remember there was one time like, oh, we killed the Wraith King, this is sick, and then he just like walks up and stuns me while he's in Wraith form, and then I die. I'm like, oh my god, this is
Yeah, but
so awful.
it's really hard for your lineup to kill him twice, I think, too.
Yeah, it definitely is. But we were I feel like I had a really bad minute 10 to 20. I got like a really early Atos, and like I was doing really well. I had like all these nulls, I was doing all sorts of damage, and I just like we couldn't kind of coordinate how to find these fights with like the Void Chrono and Skywrath ult or whoever we needed to do. Like we needed to get our Void back into the game, I guess. And I don't think we did that correctly. And their draft was just really good. That's also what draft that like if they kill like 2 or 3 heroes, or even like there are times where like, you kill one hero and you just like crush Roche, right, with the Slardar, the Dazzle, and all the physical damage.
Yeah.
They had a Solar Crest, I believe, on the Night Stalker as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it was. I really like their draft. I mean, you don't often. I mean, sometimes you don't see like drafts that there's really like a theme, right? Like they definitely, all that kind of fits together with what they wanted to do.
I feel like it's pretty standard. You have like 3 beefy heroes in front, then you have the sniper, or like a Zeus, or like a Lina backline. I think that's pretty normal.
Yeah, we just had. I don't know. I don't know what we could have done differently. The Night Stalker Slardar lane just crushed us. And just that Chid played so well. Both games, even game 1 on Mirana, he didn't have the best of lanes, but he was a huge problem. I don't know much about him, but he was really impressive. I thought he was by far the best player.
All right. Well done to Chid, I suppose, for the game 2 victory. And do you have any closing thoughts on the series? Any callouts? Any shoutouts you want to make?
Well, I would like to shout out to Mikkel. Thanks for doing this. I think you're doing a really good job, by the way. This was something that I think a lot of people are interested in, and you say you're nervous or whatever, but I think you're doing a great job. It's really enjoyable. So keep up the good work, man.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you a lot for joining me as well, of course. And
Thanks, man.
congrats on the 1-1, and I hope to see you do even better in the future. Get some 2-0s.
Thank you.
All right, and now joining me is Vinyl. How are you doing, sir?
Pretty good. Pretty upset after my 2-0 loss.
Right, so we got a 2-0 loss. That will be noted. And I do have your first game, as you were nice enough to link it to me. Thank you for that. So that is up. So talk to me about the draft here. You let the Madsen Clinks through.
I noticed he played like 4 games of Clinks, but I asked Redondo like 5 minutes before draft. I was like, "What the fuck do I ban against this team?" Because I was behind on my draft prep. So then he's like, "Ban Morphling." Okay, I'm gonna ban the Morphling. I'm gonna ban Slark because I saw like 8 games of Slark recently.
You banned his Monkey King too, yeah?
I banned Monkey King more because that hero is fucking obnoxious.
Madsen plays it too. It's one of his heroes. So it definitely feels like
Yeah.
you targeted him a bit here with the bans.
Yeah, I know Raid HQ and Onagu and Gotard, so I knew that I didn't really need to target them with bans because I already knew that there'd probably be a Sand King pick, and there was. So it's like, okay. The only question was Jake and Madsen. I'm told his actual name is, but
Yeah.
Saint Alicia. But yeah, like the difficult thing was just like, what heroes do we not want to play against? So it was just Morphling, Sark. All right, and we're like, all right, what the fuck's gonna fuck us up? So we just banned the Bloodseeker because it's obnoxious. But I feel like the draft wasn't the issue. I think we were fucking monkeys and we can't execute shit right.
But so you feel like your draft should have won this game, and it does look like both Ruby and the Flying Monkey had great games, but you were unable to close it out.
Yeah, they quickly learned that if they just killed the two supports, they could probably win the fight. So then the Clinks just jumped
Oh yeah,
me and the other support repeatedly.
he went very squishy build on the Jug.
Yeah,
the
the
health
Jug
talent,
even
though.
he took the plus 600 health talent at 25.
Yeah, that makes sense with his build because he didn't buy a Scotty. He didn't have the Abyssal at the end either. So he was
Our
very squishy.
Yeah, like our main issue was that like we took a few fights when we shouldn't have. Like his nullifier was flying out on courier, but we took the fight early and we lost it fucking horribly. But if we had the nullifier, we probably would have won that fight because then Clinks wouldn't have gotten off his BKB. But yeah, we just seem to have issues closing out games.
You gotta be careful about the nullifier on Clinks. Right? It still doesn't hit the strafe, I think.
Yeah. Our initiation strategy was for Pango to ult, blink in, stun him, and then nullifier him.
Yeah.
So we had a plan. We just didn't wait for the nullifier part of it.
You were pretty light on disables unless you hit the shackle.
Yeah, and then we actually had an amazing finish where we took a fight at top. We expended all of their buybacks and Clink's mega dust. And we knew it was happening. We were just like, we just win the fight, right? And then win the game. And then they just destroyed us after they bought back all their heroes. And we didn't have boots of travel on ours, so we couldn't re-engage. Yeah, look at that. It's absurd. Such a terrifying finish. Like I think we won every single lane. I don't think we lost a single
You
one.
lost the off lane.
Oof.
According to Dota Buff, anyway. As I have not seen the game, I do not know.
I think so. The Wind Ranger pick, I don't think we should have picked it there. He's kind of useless because they tri-laned. So then we just were like, we're gonna let Pango get levels, and then he didn't have anywhere to go because Gotard was feeding on this fucking Underlord, and we killed him like 4 times with just Disruptor and Jug, and then he just didn't come back to lane. So like my Wind Ranger was like level 1 until 6 minutes in.
Oh yeah, that's hard.
She didn't have anywhere to go.
Yeah.
So that was unfortunate.
Yeah.
But I do think I'm the drafter this season, so I do think the draft was fine. I think we just mix executed.
All right. Well, let's take a look at the game 2 draft.
Oh God.
All right, let's look. Yeah, there's some change ups on your heroes. Quite different drafts.
Game 2, we just wanted something that was. We wanted some caveman Dota. That was the goal. I didn't communicate what I was doing. I was just like, all right, guys, we're gonna pick Witch Doctor. What's the cancer hero, guys? Yeah, let's get the Leshrac. And then we picked. I sold them on Bristle. They didn't want to pick Bristle. My players apparently just fucking hate Bristle, but they're like, oh, it's a pretty good Bristle. So we picked up the Bristle, and then I didn't want this Wraith King. I wanted like a Juggernaut again, but that wasn't happening because they banned it. So I got the Wraith King, and we were like, all right, what do we put mid against Zeus? We were gonna Ember them again, just pick Ember Spirit and send them mid, but we knew that they would probably change their mid laner because the last guy wasn't too good at zoning our Ember. But so we picked Kunkka. Kunkka didn't do anything after like 35 minutes, just because he Sark got BKB. So then we couldn't lock down the Sark with anything because he would purge it, and then X marks would just be stopped by BKB. So that was relatively unfortunate. If you look at like the kills, it's pretty insane. Bloodlust was there.
This is people die, especially like 15 to 25 minutes. There's so many deaths, and then 30 to 40 minutes. Very back and forth game. As a Conker player, I'd say that's a really good Conker game. Just looking at the enemy heroes.
Yeah, like,
no
we were
one's gonna
sure
be
it would win.
tanky, and you're gonna wreck. I'd say the entire game is pretty good. He like, fell behind in his item timing, so like that he needs to have that BKB like 15 minutes earlier.
Like our main issue was that we ran out of towers to take because the first 15 minutes of that game were literally like, all right, at 10 minutes we grouped up and then we just took tower after tower, sitting Bristleback on it and then hitting it with Leshrac spells. So we were just like onward to the next tower, and we we just went from lane to lane. We started at we took top, then we took the tier 1 mid, and then we took tier 1 bottom, and then we finished off mid. Then we ran out of towers. We took mid Rex, I think, at like 20 or 23 minutes, and then we just couldn't do anything else. And none of our carries can stop the Slurk, so we had to have the Leshrac and Witch Doctor alive. And they found out that when our Wraith King blinks ahead to go beat fools up, Faceless Void should back Q forward behind him and just chrono our backline, kill our 2 supports.
Yeah, you definitely don't chrono the Wraith King. It's never a good idea.
We also had an interesting issue of I was going to go for the early ags on my Witch Doctor, so I picked up the Point Booster, and then our tempo got slowed down because we lost a few fights. So I was like, all right, I need an Aeon Disc because he's just chronoing me and killing me. And then it combined and it wouldn't disassemble after I clicked disassemble 3 times. So I don't even know why. I had enough slots for it to disassemble, but it would not disassemble. So then I just had a fucking soul booster on Witch Doctor. You know?
Yeah, that is extremely unfortunate, actually.
That really sucked.
Yeah. So one of those things that unfortunately can't happen.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I also spent like half the game tipping Red HQ.
Oh yeah, you also had Red HQ versus Ruben in this matchup. Both obviously were on my team last season.
Oh, what? I don't fucking know that. I just knew.
Oh, they were. They were.
I only know Red HQ because I write some of the PPPs with him.
Yep, I have noticed and I've been reading them. I very much appreciate your work, sir.
Oof.
Thank you.
Apparently, my last one flamed Gotard's team enough that they would get motivated to actually try really hard. So it was a little bit of regret there, but I do think it was a fun series. It just sucks to lose like that when you like feel like you have the game and then you lose it.
I do have a question regarding your power rankings. Are you going to overrate your team the next week as well, or well, this week as well?
Hey man, it's just like Redondo said. Like my team has the makings to be a good team. We just don't know what's wrong. Something's happening. Not to flame Hotshot or anything, but I think we might get a little better soon because Hotshot's going on vacation, so Nugget Nick's going to play.
All right, so we got a call out.
But it's just because like me and Nugget Nick have 1,000 games together, and me and Hotshot have like 30.
Yeah.
So
not really on the same page
Nugget
yet.
Nick have a good synergy.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. All right, so do you have any closing thoughts on this? Any call-outs? Any shout-outs?
I want to shout out to this Madsen guy for being the most cancer motherfucker ever. Apparently, my team can just tilt safe lane and carries off the face of the earth, and then they get tilted so hard they come back around. They're like fucking Gandhi and Civ 3, and they just come back around and win the game for their team out of spite. I don't know. We did it to Nier's team when we tri-laned him with fucking silly shit like I think it was Legion Ogre Sky, and we tilted him off the face of the earth.
Yeah, dude.
But apparently we just can't close out games, so it really sucks. But
Yeah.
I know Flying Monkey's really good. It doesn't help that he played like 2 games of Dota this week, and then he was home 10 minutes after he came back from a wedding.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
10 minutes before the game is when he arrived at his house to play.
Yeah, not really in, it's like in the mentality, the gameplay mentality,
Yeah, I do think my drafts have gotten better as the season goes on. Like the first 2 weeks were just, it was a draft issue in one of the games at least, and then now I think it's mostly just us being fucking retards.
Okay, some harsh words for your own team, but
We're having a blast.
that's I mean that's why we play games, right? For fun, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
thank you very much for joining me, and I wish you better luck in the future. I hope to see you joining me as well in the future. You're very welcome.
Hopefully, this is really cool. I think this is nice.
Yeah. So
It's
yeah,
good that you're doing this.
yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, we're almost done. We got accepted.
And he has to move. Okay.
Oh, there we go. Accepted. Hello, sir. Welcome. How are you doing?
Hi.
We've
I
already
am
spoken.
wonderful.
We've already had
Yes,
some
we
words.
have.
Yeah. So, how did the dinner go? Is the first question here.
Dinner with my dad. I ate steak. It was good. So good.
What is your team name? No, wait, I have your games. Never mind, dude. I got your game. Vinyl got me.
Yeah, dude, it's Anthony Fantano here.
Yeah, dude. Vinyl got you. Vinyl sent me the links. All good. So,
God.
I do have your game up here. So talk to me about the draft in game one here.
Okay, so my first three bands. Okay, their first pick offlaner fucking plays a hell of a lot of Beastmaster, so I had to ban that shit out. It can ruin a game by itself. Zipper, Bobby, he always plays Visage recently, and it's annoying as shit. And Nobu, he's been playing a shit ton of Jakiro, and it really ruins duel lanes often. So ban that shit out. And then they first picked Naga, and I was kind of not scared at all of first pick Naga, and so I just like Warlock Veno, because Warlock Veno Fatal Bonds plus Gale is hilarious. Fatal Bonds plus whatever it's called. Is it Gale?
No, that's Nova. Poison Nova?
It's Poison Nova. Yeah, Poison Nova. My bad.
Gale is the first spell.
Yeah, but fucking Fatal Bonds plus Poison Nova is so good. And then they pick Mirana, so Naga Mirana is like a really good combo recently. And is really game winning, but obviously not to the extent they wanted. Huh.
The item, it says that we're on a wonder lane, but item timing seems really bad.
Oh yeah, they won the lane. Like,
yeah, well, I mean, if you just look at the item timings, it doesn't seem like she won the lane, you know?
yeah, I know what you mean. It was kind of weird because I didn't really get shit on in lane. It was just like, oh, this lane kind of sucked, but it's okay because I'm a Spectre.
Yeah.
And my other lanes went well.
Yeah. Looks like your Veno died a lot during this game, though.
It's a Veno.
Yeah,
I expected this.
Run and press R, die. You've done your job.
Yeah. He blinked, pressed R, and died, so he was
Dude,
getting
he
to
was
those deaths even faster.
Even went for the necro, you know, to have some more impact, you know, after you die.
After he's dead, yeah.
Yeah, I can respect that.
And he had a helm, so he could micro the entire game.
Yeah. Didn't even need to be alive to play Dota. Nice. So yeah, Yoda's Viper was banned, but we got the Yoda Lina. Is that also a comfort pick?
Recently I've been just like, we've been in scrims and stuff, and like picking heroes that aren't Viper Zeus because those are his real comfort picks. So we've been trying out his Lina, his Death Prophet, Sniper, Tinker, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we played with it a few days ago in a scrim, and it felt really good. And we played with it, I think, twice, and it won both games. He won the lane. So I'm pretty confident in him playing the hero. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So, I mean, you drew the game out. You were behind on kills, but that's the Veno feed tactic working out. And I guess eventually they just
Yeah.
couldn't kill you anymore, right? And you just won.
Yeah. What they tried to do every team fight was they would Naga sleep into like a disruptor ult, an arrow, and like try to burst everyone down with the Ember. At a certain point, it didn't work anymore.
Yeah. I heavy commend on the center for buying an Axe, by the way. Underrated item.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like after I got my blade mail and I was level 15, it was very hard to just burst me because they'd kill themselves on me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think it was you had a well-rounded team fight lineup that unless
Yeah.
you can outsplit push them or outmaneuver them on the map, it's pretty hard for your lineup to lose. But unless you could get heavily dumpster in lane with this lineup though, and that could make it a lot easier to lose. But you held your own in lanes and you managed to win. So yeah, let's move on to game number 2.
yeah.
Yeah, and we
Ooh.
do see it was an L here in the second game. So let's start with the
Yeah.
draft. Do you feel the draft was the draft an issue? Do you feel like your draft was good versus theirs, or what was the deal?
All right. So they got the first pick Warlock that I did the first game. And then they did the same thing as I did. They picked the Veno. Warlock Veno is really fucking strong, and they took it from me. So I picked Bane Pango, and we tried this in, again, a few scrims, the Pango Enchantress offlane, and it can get super aggressive and make the carry want to kill themselves pretty much.
Yeah.
It just didn't get enough done in lane like it did in the scrim, and it actually surprised me a lot because it looked like it would be a pretty decent game for both of them. So the lane went poorly, which was not supposed to happen. It was not foreseen. Bottom went a lot worse than I was expecting as well, because the Veno and Wind Ranger. Oh, okay, the Wind Ranger went fucking off.
Yeah.
I don't know how. Wind Ranger was a support. That was a support Wind Ranger.
That is Mylan, by the way. How does that
That's
make you feel?
Mylan's. That's Mylan's support Wind Ranger, and he had 25 kills. He was the second most farmed person on his team, third most farmed in the game. Like, what the fuck?
That's
He played
insane
out of his
score
fucking
line.
mind.
For sure. He made his
As a
course
support.
by the wards instead. He bought 2 and they bought 1 each.
Okay, that's
the
actually kind
the
of funny.
course bought more wards in total than needed.
Support air quotes.
Yeah, for sure.
He didn't farm in the lane until like after the laning phase. So
Yeah.
that really fucked us over because he would roam around and win a lane and win a lane and win a lane. It made the game really fucking hard for us. Like Yoda won his lane middle as the
Yeah.
sniper.
Yeah. Sniper
But
favorite.
it's a sniper favorite matchup. He was all we had after a certain point. Like I was still a Death Prophet, and I would run in and just try to just like fuck him up. But I'm not as tanky as like I can't just tank everything. I can't do it. Like, and the Enchantress past a certain point would just like get one shot crit by the Kunkka,
Yeah.
and then a Wind Ranger would jump on him if he didn't.
I think
just-
she has the worst strength gain in the game, Enchantress.
I think first or second. I think Medusa's down there as well.
No, I think Medusa has the lowest starting strength, but not the lowest gain.
Let me check real quick.
It doesn't really matter, but she has abysmal strength gain. We know that much.
Okay, they have the same strength game, but Medusa has a lower starting strength.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We got that sorted. Yeah. She was dying. She didn't die that much though. There were 3 heroes on her team that died more.
Me being one of them.
Yes. Well, what happened? The safe lane DP. Was that the pick?
Yeah. I feel like at the time it made sense to me because we didn't need a DP mid at the time. We didn't think it would do enough. So switching up our lanes felt like the best idea. A DP mid might have actually won the game if we picked the right carry. I'm not sure.
Now, DP mid does also beat Konka, to be noted.
Yeah. But I thought a sniper would do a lot more than whatever I could have
you
done.
probably expected your lane to go a lot better than it did as well, right?
It went so poorly.
Yeah.
Like I rotated around and got like 4 kills after I died the first 3 times, but it's still like it made the Wind Ranger start balling. It made the Veno start balling. Like I couldn't deal with those 2 heroes at any point in the game. I don't know. That game was really, really, really hard.
Yeah, and you didn't really have any nullifier builder to remove the wind run. No.
Yeah, no nullifier builder. Doesn't Yules take it off though?
Yules does take it off, sure.
my
But yeah,
Yules
nullifier would be
do it,
good
but-
for Luna as well. You know, she got buttons to click.
Okay, the Luna had a weird ass build that I didn't agree with at all. He went the mini stun on his ult at level 25.
I am a fan. I don't mind.
It felt like wrong looking at it, but like in the fights, it was extremely useful.
Yep, I agree. That's what you think when you look at it. It is a really good talent, and she could also have gone Ags. You drop the boots for the Ags. Your last eye, it's so good with the talent.
He canceled a bunch of Fiend's grips. He would make it so I am trying to run away, and I just get fucking mini stunned every other second. It's like pop, pop, pop. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
can't run away from him. Even with my haste talent, I couldn't run away.
Yeah, it is a really good talent. It's very underrated.
I would say so, yeah. It's underrated, but I still like the lifesteal. Like
Yeah,
if you get a
you have a
Satanic,
Satanic,
which
you
if
have
you get
so
a
much lifesteal. The other talent will just do more.
yeah, you have 50% lifesteal if you have a Satanic. Like what the fuck?
I
Shit does
don't
a
think it's
ton of
acts like
damage.
that.
I think it does.
I think it's
it
mostly
stacks that
typical.
way with Wraith King plus other
Maybe
forms of lifesteal. So
I could be incorrect, but I still. It depends on the game. Actually, I wouldn't say that I'd always pick one or the other. It depends on the game.
but yeah, that game went. That game was kind of sad for me because. The reason I wanted to pick the sniper is because Yoda hates playing against Kunkka mid, and he thought he would lose mid again with the Death Prophet. He hates
Ooh.
playing against Kunkka. He just thinks it's
Okay.
like fucking amazing. So I had to pick him a hero that could reasonably just like crush him.
Okay.
And he did.
Yeah.
It's just really hard.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the easiest sniper game afterwards. It's hard to play sniper with Windrunner and Warlock, I feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you have any closing thoughts, any shoutouts, any callouts you want to make?
I will stay 1-1 forever. God bless, I can 1-1 any team.
At least Madsen overcame that.
Yeah, I will never overcome my 1-1ing every single team ever.
All right, well,
I can 1-1 you, but I will never 2-0 anyone.
okay. Well, thank you very much for joining me, and I hope to see more 1-1s from you in the future. And you're very welcome to
hope
join
not.
me next week as well.
Thanks, friend.
All right, everyone who's watching, thank you so much for being here, hanging out, and listening to the first episode of my show tonight. All the support has been much appreciated. Thank you, JV, for 100 bits. It's been pretty crazy. I didn't I didn't think it would take 2 hours, but here we are. And yeah, I mean, all good fun. And yeah, that is it for tonight. I will be back next week. We'll see if there's more or less production value, but either way, it was a lot of fun. And thank you all for being here and watching and listening in. So yeah, good night, and thank you.